Good evening. I am here. It is 1:06 a.m. on Monday, January 19th. A little late, but I'm here. I was watching other people stream, and also I had a bit to do today. As is tradition, I like rest all Friday evening and all Saturday, and then Sunday I cram everything I gotta do into like 2 hours. But yeah, nothing really much to say here. It's been an average couple of days. Hey Kyle, how you doing? Hey Mike, there's apparently a secret league in F099 now. Really? Hey Ephraim. Like, what is it? Is it like all the the mashup courses? I know they were repeating the Frozen League thing right now. Yeah, it's all the question mark tracks. Oh, that's cool. I might try to go for that at some point. Anyway. Refreshing. Alright. I don't got a whole lot to talk about, so we're just going to jump into it. We are near the end of Case 4, and it's going to roll right into Case 5, so I don't really have much to say about it. You'll see when we get to the end of this case what happens. So, last time, we investigated the murder at the Cosmos Space Center. Clay Terran was stabbed, and Solomon Starbuck, his superior, is accused of the crime. We have started interrogating Yuri Cosmos, who is so intimidating, or who's so awesome. We get to have 2 whole court sections dedicated to cross-examining him. Doing alright? Nice. Yo, what up again? Excellent. How's the sound, by the way? I need to... So, right off the bat, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to be here tomorrow night. I wasn't planning on taking the night off, but I have to be up early Tuesday to help with some stuff regarding getting rid of some trash in the house that we have people coming to get. So, I will not be here Monday night. He's good.
Director Cosmos, a new possibility has been presented by the defense. They're claiming that you were this third person. Forgive me. I'm so sorry.
Need to dust your room? No, this is about, like, big stuff that we can't actually throw out normally. Like old TVs and stuff like that. We have people coming on Tuesday to remove it, and I have to be up early to help them, because my brother may not be awake, or may not be here. So the great pioneer of space development is revealed to be just another fabulous cur. I have only one question for the likes of you. Shall I send you off quickly or very quickly? Arrgh! The evidence doesn't lie, Director Cosmos, so don't even try to talk your way out of this.
Fine, I'll tell you the truth. It's all just as you say, Mr. Wright. It's true that I was there in the boarding lounge. I got there before Detective Arm, and when she arrived, she fired warning shots at me. I was afraid people would mistake me for the killer, so I escaped to the control room. Then I went past the elevators and all the way around to the boarding lounge again. Ugh.
Pew pew.
I came up behind Detective Arm and pretended to be the second on the scene. What a troublesome old man you are with such convoluted deeds and thoughts. I see. So then, are you still insisting that you did not kill the victim? Of course I am. When I arrived at the lounge alone, I saw the true killer.
Rip Tamale.
The great Yuri Cosmos was a history-making witness.
Hold it! I think my mic peaked there a little bit. I'm gonna lower that.
Now hold on just one moment. We just proved a few minutes ago that the third person that Mr. Starbuck and Miss Aura Blackwell saw was you.
True killer is a shadow, yeah.
No, it wasn't me. I saw the person as well. If I were the killer, why would I lie to cover for Starbuck? I would just leave him to take the fall.
That is an excellent point. But I already got a hydration point here. Is a ghost. Well, it makes some sense if he told those lies to cover for Mr. Starbuck. Still, a lie's a lie, Athena. So Director Cosmos claims he's not the culprit, but where's the proof?
I just remembered. I have an alibi.
An alibi?
Miss Blackwell said that she saw the killer at 10 a.m., correct?
Yes, and?
Well, I was on the 4th floor helping with the evacuation effort. Ask any member of the staff you'd like. They'll corroborate me. The director is not fibbing to the court for once. I confirm that he has an alibi for the time specified.
So, you're claiming that Miss Blackwell saw the killer commit the crime first at 10 a.m. and that you arrived at the lounge after that?
Yes, and I believe the person I saw is the same person that Miss Blackwell saw. Although it was pitch black, so it was more of a shadowy figure and less of a person. And I couldn't actually see their face, but it was definitely the silhouette of an Earthling.
See, it is a shadow.
Ugh, Sonic, it was me, Shadow, I'm the killer.
As long as he has an alibi, can't very well claim Director Cosmos was the killer. No, we can't. Then again, maybe we don't need to yet. I wonder if he really was covering for Mr. Starbuck. Your Honor, the defense moves to have the director testify about the person he saw.
Very well. Director Cosmos, your testimony, please.
Edge. Ow, the edge. Sun the hedge. What I really witnessed.
As I tried to enter the lounge, the true killer inside fired a gun at me. I hid to avoid getting shot. But when I tried to get another look, they had vanished into thin air. I was near the elevator side door, and well, the launch pad 1 door. And the control room door should have been shut tight to the killer.
So you were shot at by the killer as well, and they disappeared?
Yes, though luckily no harm came to my glorious body. Unfortunately, the bullet hit Terran's oxygen tank. I know because I heard a pang. That must have been the sound of the tank being ruptured.
Wait, but I thought the bullet hit his metal. That was Detective Arm's bullet, remember? Right. What a mess this is turning into. So let's see. Why do we have to see this chart so many goddamn times? Director Cosmos is claiming that when he found Mr. Terran and his killer, the culprit shot a 10 caliber bullet at him. It was the sound of craving for junky tacos. I saw you mention that earlier. And I was like, oh, someone had the junky tacos. It's so, like, it's such a weird concept to me. Tacos with, like, American cheese on it, but it works. Right, but it actually hit Mr. Terran's oxygen tank and ruptured it. Only one taco, but And then the killer disappeared, and the director went into the boarding lounge. When Detective Arm caught up and fired those warning shots at him. Judging by his metal, it looks like one of them almost took him out, too. Good summary, but that doesn't explain where our mystery killer went. ACT, it's telling us to act. Gotta show mercy. Director Cosmos, I was wondering if you could elaborate on when this figure disappeared.
I'm ashamed to admit that I tried to hide myself when I was shot at, but when I peeped back into the lounge, the real killer was
gone. Deltarune tomorrow.
I rushed into the lounge straight away to investigate. But what I found was Terran with a knife in his chest and Starbuck out cold on the floor.
Except in Mario Kart, there's no mercy in Mario Kart. No, there isn't.
So we have a culprit who vanished from a scene that had no escape route. Vanished without a trace. It's truly like one of the great mysteries of the cosmos.
What did the killer intend to hit by trying to put a 10 caliber bullet through a window? Would that have been proper stopping power to puncture? The window was Arm's bullet. It was her 35, 45 caliber. 38 caliber. The only 10 caliber bullet was the one shot at the wall. That we don't know the gun that came out. It was used to fire.
Silence! A riddle of the ages, indeed. But I'd rather know. Also, hey, Merc. How a fibbing leech such as you could be lauded as great. A great man is always misunderstood in his time. But he must remain true to himself, even if those around him don't understand.
That might be the first true statement he said all day. But how do you suppose this person managed to vanish so suddenly?
Simple, because it was Space Boy himself. When he was spotted by the director and Aura, he quickly feigned unconsciousness. That would certainly take all the mystery out of the idea of a vanishing culprit.
I want to raise an objection, but I don't have any counter evidence. Objection, verbally attacking the witness, yeah. That does not count in this world. Director Cosmos, when you saw this person, did you also see Mr. Starbuck on the floor?
No, because it was as dark as a black hole in there. I didn't see Starbuck until the other person vanished and I entered the room.
That wasn't exactly helpful.
I'm prepared to accept your surrender, Wright Dono.
I can't find any holes in this testimony, but I can't give up. Mr. Wright, why don't you let me help? Huh? While the director was giving his testimony, I detected a cacophony of discord.
What?
Which means he's hiding his true feelings from us, huh? Just might help us find out what happened to our vanished killer. That'd be great, Athena. Let's see what you could do with them. You got it, boss. Wouldn't want to miss this chance to delve into a great mind. We're gonna ask the judge for permission first. Yuri Cosmos, prepare to hand over the secrets of your heart to me. Apparently leading, badgering, scope of investigation, and hearsay don't exist either. No. The lawyers do everything.
As I tried to enter the lounge, the true killer inside fired a gun at me. I hid to avoid getting shot.
These all look pretty average.
But when I tried to get another look, they had vanished into thin air.
Well, wouldn't you be surprised at that?
I was near the elevator side door. And well, the launch pad 1 door and the control room door should have been shut tight to the killer.
Talk about mixed feelings. He must be trying to account for a number of contradictions. Mr. Wright, maybe this time we shouldn't just look for contradictory emotions. We should also look for emotions that should be there but aren't. I guess it shouldn't be a surprise that his mind is a convoluted place, too. Must have felt very shaken and distressed at the time. Let's focus on the fluctuations in his emotions and see what we can uncover. Well, he should have been shocked at this, so...
Got it!
Yeah, the Launchpad 1 door being sad is also a weird moment. You must have thought it was very strange that the killer vanished into thin air.
I did. That kind of thing just doesn't usually happen.
And yet at the same time, you barely registered any shock at the occurrence.
What? Why are you...
Ugh. I can only think of one reason as to why you weren't surprised by the killer's vanishing act. You must have had a good idea of where they went. Isn't that right?
No, of course not. That's preposterous. Only I can enter the control room. And the area beyond the launch pad door was filled with smoke, making it impassable. And as for the southern door, I was standing right there. So there was nowhere for the killer to run to.
Maybe or maybe not. You went into the room to check on Mr. Starbuck and Mr. Terran, yes? What if the culprit took that opportunity to silently slip out to the southern door? Blech.
I highly doubt it. As you recall, right after I entered the lounge, Detective Arm came rushing towards it herself via the southern hallway. Anyone trying to escape there would have been caught by her.
Are you aware of how quickly you arose from slumber upon reaching the very late I'm live message from you? I mean, 1 a.m. is late for me, but let's be honest, that's usually around when I start now, which is unfortunate. I need to start earlier. Also, hey, dummy, how you doing? And yet the director wasn't surprised the killer vanished. So you're absolutely sure there was no escape route for the culprit to use.
Ugh.
It's working, boss. One more punch and it'll be a knockout. There seems to be one more emotion that's at odds with his testimony. Go get him. Okay. Back into the Matrix it is. Time to pinpoint our way to victory. Oh, hell yeah, Ash is playing some old school Nana.
Got it!
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem to be afraid of the launch pad door.
The great Yuri Cosmos afraid? And what basis do you have for that outlandish accusation?
Whether I have any basis or not, you seem to be quite distressed by it.
I'm most certainly not.
Director Cosmos, there's something about the launch pad door you're not telling us, is there? Isn't there?
Ah!
Wow, he's speechless. Looks like you hit the nail on the head, boss. I'll just input those 2 pieces of data, and... Yep, just what I wanted to see. Presto changeo. Let's Discord. Looks like we're on the right track. Thanks, Athena. Now to make sense of what we've learned. Director Cosmos wasn't surprised that the culprit suddenly vanished from the lounge, which points to the possibility that he knew where the killer had escaped to. Furthermore, talking about the door to the launch pad made him feel uneasy. In other words, he's probably hiding something about the launch pad 1 door. When we put these 2 pieces together, only one solution to this puzzle comes to mind. I think that was everyone who was going to be live today. I'll head to bed. Michael Macaw's live. Director Cosmos, did the real killer escape here? I would have to assume the Launchpad 1 corridor. The culprit went through the Launchpad 1 door to escape, didn't they?
Yes, I mean, no. Disaster to starboard! We're going to crash into an asteroid!
A master tactician. A master tactician, you are not. But the area beyond the door was filled with smoke, wasn't it? True, but this is still the only logical answer there is. If we could just figure out what the director is hiding about the Launchpad 1 door, we should be able to iron out the logistical inconsistencies.
But that door requires fingerprint recognition. Only Starbuck, Tarot, and I have access. I don't see how the killer could have opened that security lock, do you?
That's an easy one. The killer was right there in the boarding lounge, meeting. There's a way he could have easily gotten past that security lock. Come to think of it, we did examine the prints in the fingerprint recognition device. I propose that the killer use this person's fingerprints to get past the security lock.
Take that!
Solomon Starbuck. After eliminating the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Yep. Hear me out on Cosmos just for a moment here. You're not the first person to lust after Cosmos in this chat.
That's...
Mr. Starbuck was lying unconscious there in the boarding lounge. Anybody could have easily gotten past the security lock by using Mr. Starbuck's fingerprints. Ooh. And actually, Mr. Starbuck's prints are exactly what we found on the device's screen.
Ah!
Looks like he does have something to hide about the Launchpad 1 door. And I'm betting it's got something to do with the culprit's escape route. Is Blackwell here? Yep. But I don't have enough information to see the whole picture yet.
You know, something just occurred to me. Would you like to hear it?
Huh? Oh yes, by all means.
There's a security camera in boarding lounge 1.
Right, the one that recorded the victim and the defendant. What about it, Your Honor?
If the true culprit escaped into the Launchpad 1 corridor, then that might be recorded on the security footage as well. Then the mystery will be solved. What do you think of my logic there?
I hope you didn't strain your faculties too much for that, your baldness. Logic isn't real. I'm suddenly interested on an intensive degree.
I beg your pardon?
Look, if we play the security footage beyond this point...
Oh my, the footage cuts off.
The camera was running on backup power, but apparently the power cables were damaged. Most likely by the after effects of the explosion. There's no footage after this, be it of criminals or space aliens.
And I thought it was such a good idea, too.
Just because your grandchild is watching from the gallery doesn't mean you should try to show off too much. Grandpa Baldness.
Prosecutor Blackwell, how did you know about my grandchild?
I think his grandchild just learned a little about the harshness of the adult world. The adult world. Setting aside the issue of grandchildren, I'd like to have the witness continue. Director Cosmos, could you tell us more about when you entered the lounge?
If I must...
That's when Detective Arm appeared from the elevator side door.
And then the detective shot at me.
So you see, the killer could have only escaped to the launch pad, right? What do you think about Director Cosmos' emotional responses, Athena? Actually, my cat is really sick, you know. What? Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. And on top of that, my dog just doesn't seem to want to play with me. Why are you telling me all this now? Just humor me, okay? Now, when you heard about my cat, and then about my dog, which story made you feel sadder? Story about your cat, of course. It's only natural. Exactly. That would be the natural reaction. But there's nothing natural about the director's reactions. I think how each individual reaction changes across the whole testimony would be key. Sounds unnaturally complicated. That somehow doesn't surprise me. I mean, these don't... Oh, Well, the fear went away in this one, so... Nope, that wasn't it. When we view your emotions alongside your testimony, we find the unexpected emotion. Wait a minute, there really isn't anything strange here. I don't know, but I think maybe we made a mistake, Mr. Wright. I think maybe you're right. Let's take another look. Must be an unexpected emotion here somewhere. No, that wasn't it. Hey, Wolfshe. How you doing? I guess it must be this one, but... No, it's not. I had to avoid getting shot. Ugh, excuse me. After the killer vanished. Why was he less shocked about her shooting? There we go. He was less shocked about her shooting than when she showed up. Director Cosmos, why were you so surprised when Detective Arm found you, and again when she fired? Isn't that a bit unnatural? Sadly, even great men such as myself have ordinary human feelings. Our bodies are bound by the forces of gravity and emotions. Even a great man such as myself experiences surprise on occasion. Yes, I'm sure you do. But my real point is not the fact that you were surprised, but rather what you were surprised by. Pardon me? First you were surprised when Detective Arm found you in the lounge. And just after that, you were of course again surprised when she shot at you. But considering what you were surprised about, a strange phenomenon occurs here. Director Cosmos, what is strange about your surprised reaction is the fact that you were not surprised, but more surprised when Arm came. Yeah. Sure, you were surprised when Detective Arm shot at you, but the surprise you felt when she found you in the lounge was much greater. Gah! The fact that you were more surprised by simply being found than by being shot at suggests to me that you were conflicted about whatever it was you were doing there. The enemy's acquired a new weapon. Commence Operation Hide Under Your Desk. Ah! Please tell me I finally sunk his battleship. Boss, I'm getting less discord now. That must mean he really is hiding something about that launch pad door. And whatever he's hiding most likely has something to do with the killer's escape. Wonder what it could be. If he was doing something suspicious around that door, maybe we could spot some change between the moment he came to the room and after. Detective Fulbright gave us a photo taken after the crime. Let's run a comparison. Let's see. This is footage of the door before Director Cosmos arrived. And this is how the door looked after the director entered the lounge. Hey, look at that! There is a change. Something's definitely different. Director Cosmos. What is it? What have you two been up to over there? Finding the answer to what you were doing when Detective Arm found you, that's what. That answer lies clearly in this footage. All we have to do is compare it to the photo that was taken during the investigation. It'd be ridiculous. If you really have an answer, you'd point it out already. He's asking for it. This is what changed directly after the incident. It's the washing machine thing on the wall. The answer is this knob. Like the one I'm talking to right now.
Ah, that's...
Your Honor, please take a look at this footage.
Let's see.
Take a look at the knob next to the launch pad door. As you can see, it's horizontal.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
However, when we investigated the scene of the crime yesterday, the knob was vertical.
And what does that mean?
It means that sometime between before the director arrived and after, someone turned this knob.
Ah!
After the scene was discovered, you were the only one who could have turned the knob. Come on now, Director Cosmos, let's hear what you have to say. What were you trying to do by turning the knob on that door?
Yeah, fine, I admit it. You're right, I did turn that knob. That knob is a safety lock meant to keep the launch pad in place. I was afraid there would be more explosions, so I wanted to move the launch pad away.
You wanted to do what? Hey, didn't Ponko tell us something about how they prepare for launch? She said that once the launch pad's fully assembled, it's moved to the launch site. Getting motion sickness just watching him spin. But the safety lock in the boarding lounge has to be disengaged first. Guess that clears up what that knob is for. Oh, so if the killer escaped into the launch pad 1 corridor, maybe they were transported along with the launch pad to the launch site? I don't think so. Launch pad 1 corridor was filled with smoke. I don't think they could have escaped through that corridor. So then, where did the killer escape to? Guess there's still some things we have yet to uncover. Director Cosmos, I request that you tell us about the moving launch pad in more detail.
Fine, but listen carefully, for I'm about to give history-making testimony. I had no choice but to disengage the safety lock. I feared there might be more explosions, so I had to cut the launch pad loose. Surely the only escape the killer had was through launch pad 1. But that area was a sea of smoke. Confound it, where on earth could they have gone?
Rector seems driven into a corner now. Can tell he's having a hard time hiding his true feelings. Just one final push then. His attempts to conceal the truth shouldn't be all that hard for us to break through. We keep at it calmly, I'm sure we'll cross that finish line.
Got it!
Why was he happy? I had no choice but to disengage the safety lock. You make it sound like you were reluctant to do so. And yet when you did it, you felt some joy, as if you were very pleased with yourself.
Ah, how do you do it? How do you know everything as if you were there?
Pretty impressive, isn't it? This is the power of analytical psychology. So care to explain why you felt joy when you disengaged the safety lock? When I think back on the facts we discovered up to this point, I have to believe that you were trying to fulfill some hidden agenda.
How do you know about that, too?
He's gonna hurl. Because I'm more or less a pro at guessing.
Well, you have no proof that I had a hidden agenda. And even if I did, I would never ever tell you, so there!
I know they say people regress as they grow older, but you, sir, take the cake.
How could you doubt a man with such great intensity, intelligence, and integrity?
Silence!
You, a man of integrity, don't make me laugh. But Prosecutor Blackwell? What came over him all of a sudden?
You've spouted nothing but falsity since you stepped up to the stand. You're not the kind of man that will be glorified in the annals of history. Annals. Now, not for greatness, anyway. Unless you consider greatest bare-faced liar an honor.
Impressive, isn't it? It's called Just Don't Lie, dude, yeah. Silence, say less.
A liar!
His words bite harder than his blade.
You moved Launchpad 1 after the explosions? My, how naive you are. You fail to realize how even the facts themselves have betrayed you.
You know, just a thought, but modern English can be your friend.
And here's a thought for you. Immediately following the bombing, Launchpad 1 was on the boarding lounge 1 side. The police confirmed this on the scene.
What?
Liar!
So that means the director didn't move the launch pad?
Curse my judgment for calling history's greatest liar to the witness stand. Let us leave him to indulge in his lies and war games to his heart's content. Liar!
But it doesn't make sense. You can't deny that someone turned that knob. And once the safety lock was released, I'm sure the pad must have went somewhere. If we chase down the truth of this issue, we just might find where the killer escaped to.
Ah! You're sure it must have went somewhere? We just might find out. Your package came in the mail? Your arguments are nothing but conjecture, bluffing, and wishful thinking.
Some people in chat are blushing over this character.
Stop chasing your fantasies and see reality for what it really is. Or are you not man enough to, boy?
Gah! I'm way older than you! Haha, talk about hitting below the belt.
Youngins these days.
Phoenix dies. I don't understand it. I'm sure Director Cosmos must have moved the launch pad. The knob was definitely turned off after he came to the lounge. But the launch pad is right where it's supposed to be.
Ah!
Wait a minute, maybe I have it all backwards. What if the director turned the knob, not to move the launch pad away, but to bring it back where it was supposed to be? Yeah, it might be Brain Blast time.
What are you blathering about?
What if the launch pad was at the launch site before the incident? And then after the incident, Director Cosmos moved it back to its usual spot. All he had to do was turn the knob to call the launch pad back. And it would be right where the police had found it. Gah! I love that his hair actually flies off his head. Made him sigh like Mr. Starbuck. What I ever said really that off base?
It pains me to have to explain how wrong your own logic is to you. However, our great liar turned the knob only after he discovered the crime scene. Indeed, the pad existed beyond the lounge when our Astro Wonders made their escape. A fact that has been recorded for posterity on filmless film.
Alright.
So to reiterate, stop chasing your fantasies and see reality for what it really is, boy.
Ah! Again. Get a grip, Mr. Wright, and focus. We know the launch pad must have been moved. But our deductions and the actual facts of the case are in direct contradiction to each other. Well, maybe the two astronauts never actually boarded the rocket. This footage could be fake, taken with the body doubles after the incident or something. On second thought, that's too far-fetched, even for me. Never actually boarded the rocket? So to reiterate, you're a fucking idiot. Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe, just maybe. Huh? Prosecutor Blackwell, what if I told you that the two astronauts never set foot inside the launch pad area, but instead went into another place? And what if when the director moved launch pad 1 back, it was not from the launch site, but from another place? What would you say then?
Cut the accidental bull or I'll cut you.
Mr. Wright, you will explain yourself at once. I know I'm right. It was the other way around from the very beginning. Very well, Your Honor. Let me explain. Director Cosmos' reason for moving Launchpad 1 was to trap the true killer, hide it, switch it with another place. Because he wanted to switch it with some other place. I'm sorry, but did you say switch it? What could he possibly have switched the Launchpad with? Oh, you'd be surprised, Your Honor. All it takes is a little thinking outside the box and the answer becomes clear as day. This is what was switched with Launchpad 1. The Space Museum.
Take that!
Launchpad 1 was switched with The Space Museum?
In the past, the Space Museum used to be Launchpad 2. It has all the same features as Launchpad 1. It can even be moved to the launch site. Meaning the Space Museum and Launchpad 1 can also be switched with each other. Space with an S at the end.
You can't mean...
The rocket the astronauts boarded was not the one in Launchpad 1. It was the replica in the Space Museum.
What? Balderdash!
And that's the only explanation that accounts for every riddle and inconsistency. This is how the Space Center was just before the incident.
I see Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum have already switched places.
That's right, and with the two switched like this, the astronauts entered the Space Museum from boarding lounge 1. This allowed the true killer to enter Launchpad 1 from boarding lounge 2 and set the bomb on the rocket. Come to think of it, the door to the Space Museum from boarding lounge 1 Exactly. Anyone could pass through that door to the Space Museum. There's no fingerprint recognition system on that door. In other words, the two launch pads switched like that. Someone other than Mr. Starbuck could have easily planted that bomb. Gah! After setting the bomb on the rocket, the culprit snuck into boarding lounge 1 and waited there, concealed, in order to kill Mr. Terran when the two astronauts emerged from the Space Museum. That also explains how they used the elevator to get back down. The elevator in boarding lounge 1 was destroyed, or in Launchpad 1 was destroyed. But if they were in the Space Museum and it had the same elevator, presumably Clay could have just taken it down with Starbuck and the meteor capsule. Recall that Miss Blackwell, Mr. Starbuck, and the director all saw a suspicious figure, who we could suppose, after killing Mr. Terran, made their escape into the Space Museum. After that, Director Cosmo switched the two launch pads back, without realizing the killer was inside the Space Museum. The killer then left the Space Museum and made a clean getaway. Ah! Right, Dono, I see you know how to handle a sword and handle it well. Perhaps I should call you Swordmaster Bluff. I'm a seasoned warrior who has cut down many a prosecutor.
Silence!
Oh, there's a Miss Blackwell? God damn it. No, there is. Well, there is a Miss Blackwell. Aura is his older sister. Researcher who's developing robots at the Space Center. She's Prosecutor Blackwell's older sister. Unless you could prove your theory, it's no better than a rusty sword. That's right, you have no proof I switched those launch pads. Somebody needs a better anger management counselor. The launch pads really were switched. There might be a record of it somewhere. At this point, Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum were switched with each other. So the corridor beyond the door should be the one that belongs to the Space Museum. Let's see, this is an image of the Launchpad 1 corridor. Do you see anything different when we compare it to the security footage? Huh? That number on the floor. Okay, just spell it out for me. Well, what do you know? It looks like we have proof after all, Prosecutor Blackwell. There's still a chance. And if this is just another bluff... Oh, don't worry, it's all right there. Right in this footage. Proof that beyond this door is the corridor to the Space Museum.
Very well then, answer this for me if you would. What in this footage proves that the corridor belongs to the Space Museum?
That's not a 1 on the floor, that's a 2.
Take that!
There's a 1 on the floor of the Launchpad 1 corridor. But take a look at the floor of the corridor in the security footage. Do you see the number on the floor behind the astronauts? See, it's funny because, like, theoretically, they would just rewind this footage so that, they could see the 2 on the floor. Because there's footage from before this point. Bruh. It doesn't look like a 1, doesn't it? Because that's what you see is actually part of a 2.
Bruh.
What? Why is it a 2 and not a 1? That's because the corridor you see is the one at the Space Museum. And so that means the corridor in this footage was not filled with smoke. That's right, because the explosion didn't occur in the Space Museum. The explosion occurred in Launchpad 1, on the side opposite the Space Museum. Now that we know the 2 astronauts escaped from the Space Museum, the mystery from the previous trial of how they got down the ladder is cleared up. Mr. Terran, carrying Mr. Starbuck, simply took the elevator from the upper level down to the middle level. Just incredible. The 2 launch pads were actually switched. But you'd think someone would have noticed an event of this magnitude. Everyone was down in the basement shelter when the launch pads were swapped back. There's no way anyone could have known what was happening on the surface. No more lies, Director Cosmos. It's high time you told us the truth. My honor, my glory, everything is slipping away. Time to deploy my ultimate weapon, Galactic Engine. Ignition! What? It's gone haywire! It wants to stop! My stars, my glory! No, not that way! Love the endings of these, watching them break down, yeah. Oh god, that was a lot of gravel. Vilif, on your steed and after that witness. I see we managed to retrieve you before you came to any bodily harm. Director Cosmos, do you admit you switched the launch pads? I admit it's true. I switched Launchpad 1 for the Space Museum. It is good to hear words I can believe for a change. Before you do, Your Honor, 2 things. Wait, before you do what? Before you do what? First, we don't know if Mr. Terran had prior knowledge of the switch. Plot twist, something was actually wrong with the student. That was a flee attempt. That happens a few more times in the next game, too. People disappearing from the court stand in comedic fashion. As for Mr. Starbuck, he was unaware of his surroundings thanks to his medication. Either way, Mr. Terran would have realized the instant he stepped into the Space Museum that it had been switched with Launchpad 1. So my first question is this. If the Space Museum was perfectly fine, why did Mr. Terran feel the need to put on such a dramatic display? Not a plot twist. He just wanted to go to Taco Bell. Hell yeah. Wait, where is it? Where's Taco Bell? Oh, it was in memes.
Baba Booey.
I really gotta do these. Another plot twist. Nearest Taco Bell was outside the city lines. Yep. As for my second question, I'd like Director Cosmos to tell us why he switched the 2 launch pads to begin with. Conveniently. You know what sucks about not getting that apartment that I mentioned the other week? It was like right near Taco Bell. Not right near it, but it was like a 5-minute walk from the Taco Bell that I usually go to. And that is unfortunate. Now I'm hungry for Taco Bell. God damn it. Great for the cravings, yeah. Hey, Quillsoft, I'd like to ask Professor Cosmos where's Wanda's. I thought you said plastic surgery. I'm keeping them. I've not had Taco Bell in a long time. I think Razu works at one, and he tells me about the new soda flavors. Honestly, might make my own tacos now. I haven't had, like, homemade tacos in forever. We had, like, a taco dip type food back on New Year's, and it was pretty good, but it was not the same as, like, an old school, like, homemade taco. Please, I can't. I exercise my right to remain silent.
But I will say, my hands were tied. I was only doing what I could to keep my men from getting caught up in the blast. The
director is terrified. He must have one heck of a reason for not wanting to explain why. Probably not a good time to try to pry it out of him, huh?
Excuse me, but would you mind if I picked up my stars? Without my badge of rank, I'm nothing.
Homemade tacos often has tacos at home because it's a part of your culture. What? Well, we don't make tacos that often. My mom used to make tacos, but not anymore because it's because she doesn't eat them. So if we're at a point where she's only going to cook if it's something we can all eat together. Otherwise, she would just make something for herself and we make our own food. So if I want tacos, I got to learn how to make them. Which, I mean, isn't too hard, but we also don't have the ingredients for them. White people tacos and ground beef and taco seasoning are actual tacos. Ground beef and taco seasoning. I have had... There is a real authentic taco place near where I live, though. And I've ordered from them a few times, and they are amazing every time I get them. But also, junky tacos. I mean, that's literally fast food tacos, but with American cheese on them, and they're good. Friggin' Jack in the Box, man. I wish there was one of those around here. There aren't. They do the mini tacos too, which are also really good. Anyway, we've gone very far off the rails here.
I don't see why not. Bailiff, help the director retrieve his stars. We can't program every animation for him without the stars on him. It appears the possibility of a culprit other than the defendant has presented itself. Mr. Starbuck, is there anything you wish to say?
I don't get it.
Don't get it? What don't you get?
Director, why did you do all that? From the very beginning, you never meant for the launch to go ahead, did you? You tricked us!
Mr. Starbuck. Starbuck, my boy, I'm sorry. I can't tell you the reason why. But I had to do it to protect the Space Center.
Director! Will I ever get the chance to go into space again? So we've seen this picture before. We have Clay, Solomon, Director Cosmos. There's Ponko or Klonko, whichever one. Actually, I don't think either of them are the red robot. Maybe there's a different one. Covered in bandages, and there's Aura. So we just don't know who this is at the end. Aura looks really happy there, which seems very unusual. Because she does not usually look that... She is not a happy person.
Yes, of course. I won't rest until it happens. I will get you into space again, my boy.
Then the dream is still alive.
Silence!
Sound like you're half second away from killing everyone in a 20-mile radius. Ooh. What did you just say to me? No. No, wait, sorry, that was wrong. No. Don't plead now. Say it again. Where's all that confidence you had when you were talking to my back? Should have hydrated before I did that one. We could edit in post. Edit it in post. Edit it. It's so hard to do the same syllable twice. Unless you're talking about Wawa. Which, again, talking about places to eat. That's the New Jersey, Pennsylvania special right there. Hey, Avoided Cat. How you doing? You're not going into space, Starbuck. But prison. I won't have it any other way. Why are you so hung up on him? Yes, I accept that the launch pads really were switched. And if there were a third person at the scene, I suppose they could have escaped. But I have yet to see proof of this third person's escape via the Space Museum. Okay, good night. Not even gonna comment on it? I read that for you and you're just gonna bounce? Okay.
Oh, that's a good point.
Ah, he's right. I don't have any proof.
Starbuck, you will spill everything you know.
What? Me? Ow!
Where did you get those bombs? Tell me now. If you don't, my blade shall feast upon your blood.
Ah, I'm tired of screaming, man. I'm going to die. I want to die in space.
I have to do something. Solomon Starbuck, prepare yourself.
Oh my god, how many ahs?
Now, you know violence isn't the answer, Prosecutor Blackquill. That annoyingly cheerful laugh. It can be none other than...
Don't worry, you get your feedback and be very pleased by it. Okay. Bruh.
Champion of Righteousness, Bobby Fulbright here. In justice we trust.
Detective Fulbright?
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Lawyer. I hope I'm not too late.
I don't believe we had an appointment.
I tried to hurry, but I ended up helping a little old lady cross the street. And then I had to break up a cat fight. I tell you, justice sure is a full-time job.
Was it a fight between cats, or... Why are you here again?
Because the defendant isn't the culprit, and I came to make sure that justice is served.
And you finish it. Okay, now I'm curious. Okay, have a good night. I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Fulbright, I always thought you were a bit touched in the head. But have you finally succumbed? Nope, but it looks like you've succumbed to this phantom of yours. Open your eyes and let the evidence of justice uncloud your judgment.
What evidence? Come to think of it, he did say something about finding us some evidence. I didn't think he was serious, though. So what is it, Detective? Is it something that will prove Mr. Starbuck innocent?
It is indeed. Have a look at this. What's this, a lighter? That's right, a lighter thought to have been used by the culprit, no less. The Space Museum's cleaning robot picked it up. It has the victim Clay Terran's blood, along with his killer's fingerprints on it.
What?
Gah! Order! Order! Detective Fulbright, can I assume that the fingerprints don't belong to the defendant? You bet! Mr. Starbuck is totally innocent!
This is it. This is just what I needed. Just what I needed. Lighter found on the floor of the Space Museum. The true culprit's fingerprints are on it in the victim's blood. Your Honor, this is decisive evidence that supports the defense's earlier claim.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
With pleasure, Your Honor. Recall where this lighter was found. Based on that, we can extrapolate that after the killer murdered Mr. Terran, they escaped with the lighter in hand to the Space Museum. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, the Space Museum's cleaning robot picked it up. So it was found in the Space Museum, where they dropped it. The switching of the two launch pads occurred. Then finally, the killer left to Boarding Lounge 2 and made their escape. Meanwhile, Mr. Starbuck was found in Boarding Lounge 1 after the murder, a fact that Director Cosmos has testified to. Therefore, Mr. Starbuck couldn't have possibly been the one to drop the lighter there.
Silence!
But the defendant had free reign of the area until Director Cosmos appeared. Could he not have dropped the lighter in the Space Museum during that span of time?
Objection!
You'd like that to be true, wouldn't you? But Director Cosmos testified that right after he saw the mysterious figure with the lighter, he went into the lounge and found the unconscious Mr. Starbuck. In other words, Mr. Starbuck wouldn't have had time to double back to the museum. No, Prosecutor Blackwell, this lighter could only have been dropped by the real killer. Ugh. Most importantly, Mr. Starbuck's fingerprints were nowhere to be found on this lighter. I think you understand what this means, don't you? This piece of evidence unequivocally proves that Mr. Starbuck wasn't the culprit. This does indeed appear to be decisive evidence that proves the defense's claims. Woo! As for the remote switch that was found in Mr. Starbuck's pocket, we can assume it was planted by the killer on the unconscious Mr. Starbuck. No, there must be some mistake. Frankly, Prosecutor Blackwell, I've been worried about you. You've been chasing this phantom for 7 whole years. Take a shot. I understand your urgency because tomorrow...
Silence!
...is Delta Room. Fulbright, you promised never to speak of that. Huh? Tomorrow? What about tomorrow? Given the body of evidence, I think it's safe to say the defendant is innocent. In light of the fact that it was impossible for him to have committed the crime. A few unanswered questions remain, so I look forward to seeing what you two uncover. But for now, this court finds the defendant, Solomon Starbuck, not guilty. Yes, we did it, Mr. Wright. Looks like we pulled it off somehow, huh? With some help from Detective Fulbright. Mr. Wright, Miss Sykes, thank you. And please thank Apollo for me, too. You all are the best. I love all the death stares when it cams to them, yeah. Oh, I wish we could tell Apollo about Mr. Starbuck's verdict right now. Yeah, me too. It's gonna have to wait. Now that a verdict has been reached, I'd like to bring today's trial to a close. Court is adjourned.
Objection!
Phoenix knew it wasn't the end. Oh no, he didn't. It's too late to object, isn't it? Isn't it? Hard to clear my nose. It simply isn't possible. Something's wrong. Prosecutor Blackwell, are you dissatisfied with the verdict? Fulbright, what were the results of the fingerprint analysis for the lighter? Huh? The results? Well, I was in a hurry, you see, and there was that cat fight, and, well... I kinda got carried away when I heard the prints weren't Mr. Starbuck's, so... You have yet to read it? Prosecutor Blackwell, can you read out who the prints belong to? Upon thorough analysis, the fingerprints were found to belong to Athena Sykes. Fuck. Knew I didn't like this guy for some reason. So says the report. What? What? Huh? Me? Oh my god, he messed up. Ah. If you've been watching my videos last month or so, you know my frustrations with lighters. Wait. You mean like fire magic in Fire Emblem? Order, I say. Order! I have been watching your videos. I've been watching the Fire Emblem and the Pokemon ones lately. Miss Sykes, tell me you have an explanation for this. We just finished proving that this lighter can only belong to the killer. So finding your prints on it can only lead us to one grave conclusion. I don't know how they got on there, but I know I'm not the culprit. Letters you can only access by cheating, that kind. This can't be happening. We built up our argument piece by piece. And I don't think any of our reasoning was faulty. So how could it have led to this? Lighter updated in the court record. It has Athena's prints on it and the victim's blood.
Gah, what have I done? Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Order! Order! Detective Fulbright, stop your crying! What in the world is happening here? It's like the whole world's gone mad. Order! Order! I will have order!
Confusion spiraled into utter chaos. After all we'd fought for, the truth had turned cruelly on us to accuse Athena of the crimes. Somewhere, somehow, everything had gone terribly wrong. We had stumbled over the edge of reason and into the jaws of a twisted darkness. End. So how's that for the end of a trial? Athena is now is guilty. Athena, how would you how in how many years would you expected her to be fingered as the culprit here? But lots of question marks. Salamence learns an HM naturally. Oh, does it learn Flash? Huh. Wow, I bungled that so hard. I wanted it to be a lot more dramatic, and I just stumbled over all my words. Took a while, honestly, yeah. Anyway, I will be continuing to Chapter 5. Just a second. I'm just gonna split the recording here, so, you know, same deal as always. We have multiple recordings to go up. Oh, it learns Fly. Okay. A few Pokemon learn Fly naturally, I think.